This year, the Freedom Area High School finally got smartboards installed for all core class teachers. Classrooms have had smartboards before, but the technology started to become outdated. With this year being unlike any other teaching year, the district finally decided it was time for an upgrade.
I've been able to use it in a variety of ways. It's been super duper helpful during the shutdown, especially this year, not so much last year, as I've been able to use the smartboard at home and send that to my students that are either sitting in my classroom or sitting at home. So that's been very nice. At first, I just kind of used it so that I didn't have to erase a chalkboard all the time. But now I feel like I can import PowerPoints, I can import Google Slides, I can make my own games. And as a result, it just encourages students to interact with the material, as well as gives me a good idea of what students can do. So, for example, when I present a lesson from home, what I can see is I can send a slide to a student and I can see them interacting in live time with that slide.
Getting new technology, such as a smartboard, is always a very rewarding challenge. Learning new technologies on the fly is always a daunting task. It's never something easy to do. But I want to take a little bit of time to thank Mrs. Bovard for the class that she put on for a lot of us, and then just being able to really use this piece of technology, some trial and error, and some good old-fashioned tinkering. I believe that I myself and the teachers within the district were able to prepare ourselves to really start using these smart boards the very first day of our hybrid model. Specifically for my class, I've been able to use this smart board within the room to physically engage with what we would consider traditional media, right? I've noticed that students just aren't blown away by PowerPoints anymore. Notes aren't paper pencil anymore, especially with this hybrid system with students at home. So I use the smartboard to allow myself to expand upon what we do in an English curriculum, in an English classroom. Furthermore, this smartboard has presented the opportunity for my class to grow intellectually and socially using the internet, becoming better digital citizens, improving our digital literacy, and being able to use the smartboard as a gateway, as the medium for more discussion, more collaboration, and a deeper, better understanding inside the English classroom.
I can't imagine teaching without it at this point. I'm very curious to see how I will, once we're back to our normal, how I will utilize it as it should be used in the classroom, because I've been using the online smartboard a lot. So I'll be very curious to see how that transition occurs.
As previously mentioned, I love the smartboard's capability of transforming material into a more physical experience. In the English classroom, I utilize a lot of Nearpods and Kahoot reviews and little activities and games that we can use to transform and monitor our growth inside these four walls, especially with the idea of students not just copying notes anymore. We quite physically do them in some instances, right? If we're doing vocab, they can move words around and match and interact with new information, helping them retain it, helping them acquire that knowledge. Also, one of the best features that I've used since we've returned in this hybrid model has been the introduction or the inclusion of audiobooks with a rolling text while we move through some of our literature. You know, especially having students at home, having students here, and taking what we would traditionally use as a independent task and making it a collaborative group task really has improved readability in my room, has improved engagement with the text in my room, and overall accountability with a lot of the assignments, especially the readings in my room. And I'm very thankful for my students for being able to engage and participate with these audio files, because having that multiple ways of in getting the input, right, audibly, visually, socially, with a lot of our readings I'm finding less and less individuals, you know, falling behind with some of our texts or being overwhelmed with the readings in various ways.
Since getting the smartboards, teachers have been able to teach in a variety of ways to both students that are in person and at home. Teachers will only grow more knowledgeable about the boards in time. All in all, smartboards have seemed to be a good choice for both the staff and students.